For years, I've always felt there's been corruption, there's been favoritism towards the Cartel Six in the Premier League. And this season is being proven more and more so. Look what's happened to Everton, look what's happening to Forest and Leicester. And now this from the Premier League. Welcome to this exclusive on FFTV. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news. Coming up in this video, we will exclusively reveal to you just how corrupt the Premier League is and the lengths they are going to really undermine clubs like Forest, clubs like Everton, Leicester, etc., while they look to protect their Cartel Six, the Big Six, the Sky Six. Call them what you want. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button down below and you're done. It's completely free. And if you could do us a massive favor, please don't forget to download the SofaScore app. It is completely free, both on Android and iOS. You can have a look at all the scores live as they come, the quickest goal alerts you will find on any app. On top of that, you can follow your favorite competitions, be it the corrupt Premier League, La Liga, whatever leagues you like. And of course, you get to see all the ratings on the teams and the players as well. Look at the heat maps of the players. How well did they perform during the match? And check the shots out individually. See where the shots were taken from. On top of that, look at the attacking momentum during the game. Which team was really on top? That will let you know. And my favorite is the players' average positions that you can check throughout the match live as well. Follow your favorite teams and players just like Forest. And if you're old school and want to check out historic data, they go way, way back. So the link's pinned in the comments. Make sure you download that. It is completely free to do on iOS and Android. If you just click that link, it will take you straight to your store. Okay, so let's get into this story. And this story, I don't know if it will anger you, but it's infuriated me. This is off the back of the appeal being announced yesterday. But the real problem here is who announced the appeal. The appeal is meant to be in a closed environment between the Premier League, between Forest, between the independent body. They're all under NDAs. There's all embargoes around these. But yet, this has been announced before either Forest came out and said it or the Premier League officially came out and said what they were doing. Now, under an appeal, you would expect Forest to be the ones who show their hands first with the club statement, which we got after it was all announced from certain journalists and news outlets. And the problem is we've seen this as well with Everton's one previously. And now it's coming to me, and I'm telling you this with real strength and certainty, that these leaks are not coming from the Forest side. The embargoes have been honoured. There's been no off-the-record comments done by Forest. Believe you me, I mean, we've tried to find out what's going on, but and rightly so, it's been a completely closed house from Nottingham Forest. They've worked really well with the Premier League, hence we saw the 2 mitigating points coming back off us. They've been open and honest in terms of the accounts they offered and things like that. Yet from the other side, because there can only be 2 sides to this, there have been leaks, potentially, allegedly, from the Premier League, where they're feeding journalists information. And it's not just about the fact that Forest were going to appeal. It's the fact and things like how many points Forest were going to get. That was announced again through journalists. It's about the Everton stuff. That's been announced as well through journalists. And the real question is why? The answer to that has to, in my opinion, all stems from this whole independent body that they're coming under pressure to do right now. We've seen it with Dick Masters when he was in front of the committee in the Houses of Parliament, how he was derogatory towards Forest, Everton and the other 14 clubs. And the other 14 clubs need to sit up and take note, because I'll admit it, when Everton first got docked their points, I was like, cool, that's one more place up for Forest. But once Forest got dragged into it, you're like, wait, wait, what's going on here? The likes of Villa need to be careful. We've seen Leicester just hit with it as well. Newcastle, there's talks of them. But those big six get protected. Man City's 115 charges. And I don't care what Man City fans say in terms of, oh, you don't understand the ins and outs of the charges and what have you. The fact that they still can't announce dates on it is absolutely pathetic on that. And we could go into the whole tangent of that. Maybe we'll do a whole video on that. But the point here is the Premier League's agenda right now is to look like they're being hard on the clubs within the Premier League, but they are too scared to attack the Cartel Six because of the revenue they bring into the league. And to show the government that they have some teeth, have some kahunas, what they are doing is attacking the likes of Forest. And these leagues are absolutely pathetic. The real issue I have with these leagues, I mean, let's face it, there's always leagues in the footballing world, but these leagues undermine the integrity of the process. If they are able to say stuff, maybe they're saying it off the record, allegedly, or on the record, and sending these leaks out, this undermines the process and undermines the position that Forest find themselves in, because it shows that the Premier League have some agenda towards the other 14 to push this through. And we know for sure this appeal, without a shadow of a doubt, and I still have to say allegedly, has not come from the Forest side. It's come from the other side. And, you know, do the maths. That makes it from the Premier League. That for sure. We know as well, potentially the points announcement came from them. These are all things that they're trying to get out into the media, to get the hype up, to just show and showcase the government that they can govern themselves. Because the last thing they want to happen is to be controlled from external places where they can't create their own rules, where they can't create their own agenda. And let's be honest, it all comes down to money. Hence why we see the protection against the big six. So the ironic thing about this is that the Premier League themselves have not appealed the decision on Forest with the 4 points PSR deduction, which tells you in itself that they know that this is either fair or more than they wanted to get out of it. And this almost feels like another little attack. Well, if Forest are going to appeal, let's get one over them and leak it out to the press. And what's going to happen on that appeals process? Are we then going to find that information starts being leaked out again? Well, let me remind you, they're under embargoes, they're under NDAs. This has to be a closed environment. And the problem is, all this information comes out anyway, officially and legally. We saw the 50-odd page document after Forest's first case. And if I'm an Everton fan right now, sitting here as they're currently going through their hearing with the independent panel, I'd be thinking, well, what's in line for us? We're not part of the Cartel Six. How are we going to be treated with the Premier League? And shouldn't the Premier League be held to a higher standard if they're looking to govern their own, closed box here? Should they not be held to a higher standard? And it just, for me, it comes down to corruption. Look, other fan bases will say you broke the rules. Take your punishment. Whether or not you think the rules are good or the rules are not good, it doesn't matter. The rules are the rules. Same argument you hear all the time. Fine, I have no problem. At no point have I denied that Forest have broken PSR rules. But what I am infumed about, is the fact that the Premier League are showing these standards. And if we can't trust them on keeping their mouth shut, how can we trust what they're saying about the 115 charges against Man City? How can we trust them about Chelsea? Chelsea spending over £1 billion. How can we look at clubs like Manchester United, who are 700 million, 500 million in debt, and call that sustainable? Yet Forest, who break PSR rules, and the number they're throwing around is £34.5 million. But let's be honest, Forest spent £90-odd million, which is still below the £105 million that the majority of the other Premier Leagues have spent. And we're not saying this is an old boys club, a closed, office where things happen how they want to happen and they just follow the scent of the money. This is making us lose the essence of football. Us football fans who are in the stands in the cold, who follow our team, who stress out about results, who, weekends are made and broken by what the results are on the pitch. We're the ones who suffer this, while the Premier League only care about the money and only care about the big six teams. I guarantee you, when Man City eventually, if we're all still alive, face their 115 charges, there won't be a whiff of a leak coming from the Premier League as to what the outcome was, as to what the discussions were behind closed doors. Suddenly, they will re-find their integrity. But what do you guys think about all this? What do you think should be done about all of this? In my opinion, shut the books. Either deal with Man City first, because that was the first charge. Because all you're saying here is that the more charges you do that are against the rules, the longer we will take to prosecute you. So are Forest and Everton being punished now because they didn't break enough rules? Is that really what this has come down to? Get these in order. Do not tell me it takes years and years to do 115 charges, because if the Premier League really wanted to, they could have sorted out this whole Man City debacle way quicker than they currently are. And Forest and Everton, yes, they have both broken the rules, but punish the ones who broke the rules first. That's what I say. Look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And we'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.